Welcome to episode 83 and the 2-year anniversary special of EDH Commander Challenge. I'm your host, BT. First things first, guys, thank you for being the best fan base on YouTube over these past 2 years. You guys are so supportive, and we can't thank you enough. Secondly, in case you're wondering about our 900 subscriber special, we are working on it. It's just our scheduling is basically the biggest conflict here, since our schedules mix like oil and water. We're going to try and do it either this week or next week and hope to have it up soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, as promised, this week's episode is going to be a fan request episode, and just because it's a special, it's going to be 2 rounds of EDH action for you today. Thank you all for everyone who commented or sent me tweets on the commanders they wanted to see in today's episode. Surprisingly, only one actually got more than 1 vote, and that was Sliver Overlord, which makes me feel very warm inside to know that I'm not the only one that loves Slivers. As for Baru, we put him up on a roulette wheel along with the other choices and left it to the RNG gods to make it as fair as possible. And as you guys, as I mentioned before, we're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers, so what I decided to do is have sort of an open mic with you guys next week. So if you guys have any questions in general about me, some of our other members, or just questions about EDHCC in general, like a lot of questions I receive include why I haven't shown my face on camera, why we always have the overhead view for it, or why is it 2 players instead of 4, just let us know in the comments down below, or just send me a tweet on Twitter and I'll try and get some of your questions answered in next week's episode. Now, without any further ado, let's show those opening hands and the players we are representing for this week's special. First off, representing MTG Punker 1983 and Base Mana, I am playing my Wooburg Sliver Overlord deck. And I keep an opening hand with Siphon Sliver, Beseech the Queen, Chromatic Lantern, Commander Sphere, Murmuring Bosk, Flooded Strand, and Underground Sea. The Mad Scientist Francis, representing Septrid's Palace, is playing Baru Fist of Krosa. And his opening hand consists of Gauntlet of Power, Soul Ring, Skull Clamp, Colonian Hydra, 2 Forests, and Reliquary Tower. Francis will start us off as he won the die roll off camera for round 1, so let's go! Francis plays a Forest and casts Soul Ring, followed by Skull Clamp, before passing an incredible turn 1. I play a Murmuring Bosk tapped and pass. Francis plays a Forest and passes. I play Underground Sea and pass. Francis plays Reliquary Tower and casts Gauntlet of Power, calling green, doubling his mana, and passes. I play Flooded Strand, paying 1 life to sacrifice it to put a Savannah from my deck into play. Then I cast Chromatic Lantern before passing. Francis casts Harmonize to draw 3 cards from his deck. He then plays a Forest and casts Colonian Hydra and passes. I play Krosa Verge tapped and cast Beseech the Queen for 4, adding Harmonic Sliver to my hand before passing. Francis plays Thespian Stage and casts his general, Baru Fist of Krosa. Followed by Garruk Primal Hunter. He then upticks Garruk to make a 3/3 beast token. Then he moves into combat and attacks with the Hydra, which doubles its counters, dealing me 9 damage total before passing the turn. For my turn, I play Godless Shrine, untapped, paying 2 life, and cast Harmonic Sliver, destroying his gauntlet. Followed by Siphon Sliver, destroying Soul Ring. Then I pass. Francis casts Regrowth, adding back his gauntlet from his graveyard to his hand. Then he casts Kadama's Reach, and since he hasn't already played his land for the turn, the card essentially allows him to net 2 basic forests into play. This triggers his general Baru twice, giving all of his green creatures +2/+2 and trample until the end of the turn. He then upticks Garruk, giving him another 3/3 beast token. Francis then moves into combat and waves me with all of his other creatures, which includes his Hydra, which doubles encounters again. Now with the math, I believe with the lifelink I gained, I could have survived the hit, but unfortunately, without having any kind of board wipes to deal with his field with the mana that I had, the mad scientist destroys me the way Vegeta was destroyed by Cell with a perfect, flawless victory. And now for round 2. This time around with my Sliver Overlord deck, I keep an opening hand with Temple of Enlightenment, Temple of Plenty, Bayou, Tropical Island, Training Grounds, Venom Sliver, and Mox Diamond. Meanwhile, the mad scientist, looking to extend his win-loss record for today to 2-0, keeps an opening hand with his Baru Fist of Krosa deck of Temple of the False God, 3 Forests, Sakura Tribe Elder, Skull Clamp, and Gulta Primal Hunger. This time I start things off. Let's go! I play Temple of Plenty and scry the card at the bottom and pass. Francis plays a forest and casts Skull Clamp and passes. I play Tropical Island and cast Venom Sliver and pass. Francis plays a forest and casts Exploration, allowing him to play a second forest this turn. Then he casts Sakura Tribe Elder and passes. For my turn, I play a Sliver Hive and cast Training Grounds, followed by Gale Rider's Sliver. I then move into combat and poke Francis with Venom Sliver for 1 damage before passing. Francis plays a Forest and Temple of the False God for his lands, and casts Rampaging Baloths and passes. I play Mox Diamond, discarding a Bayou, and cast Putrefy, killing the Baloths. I play Temple of Enlightenment, scrying the card to the bottom. Then I move into combat and poke Francis with both of my creatures for 2 damage before passing the turn. During the end phase, Francis sacrificed his Tribe Elder to grab a basic land, and then realizes he could have sacrificed it in response to Putrefy, getting a beast token from earlier. During his turn, Francis casts his general, Baru Fist of Krosa, and passes. For my turn, I follow suit and cast my general, Sliver Overlord. Then I move into combat and poke Francis again with my other creatures for 2 damage before passing the turn. Francis plays a Hollow Trees tapped and passes. For my turn, I cast Paradox Engine. Then I pass to Francis and inform him that I intend to end the game next turn. Francis places a storage counter on his Hollow Trees, leaving it tapped, and then casts Yeva Nature's Herald, and passes, wondering how I can win next turn when he's still sitting at 35. For my turn, thanks to Training Grounds, searching out a sliver only costs 1 mana with my Overlord. So I pay 2 mana to search out 2 slivers, being Heart Sliver and Manawef Sliver. I cast them, and this gives my slivers both haste and essentially making them mana buddies. I then explained to Francis that thanks to my Paradox Engine, I can float mana from my slivers and my Mox, and then search out more slivers and cast them in succession. And that with all my slivers having haste, as well as abilities including Trample, Double Strike, Flying, Death Touch, Shadow, Massive Boosts, just to name a few, 1 combat phase is all it will take for the slivers to assimilate the Mad Scientist, ending the game. For this week's Cardboard MVP, for the Mad Scientist, Game 1 was Colonian Hydra. It took that card only 2 turns to absolutely turn my world upside down. It destroyed me. That's all I can really say. In Game 2, however, he was mostly land flooded. Exploration helped him get out a lot of his lands. Dare I say, if he got a Green Sun Zenith or maybe a Genesis Wave, it could have been a different game. For me, Game 1 was probably Harmonic Sliver, I guess. If that card could have come out earlier, I might have been able to stop the stampeding I took from the Mad Scientist in Game 1, just enough to survive and start a counterattack. And in Game 2, there's no question, it's Paradox Engine. A card that seemingly looks like it was made, or at least a match made in heaven, for sliver decks. Being able to search out and cast new slivers and being able to reuse them over and over again because your Sliver are mana buddies, it's just so hard to come back from that. Especially since Slivers can get virtually any ability under the sun. Shroud, Trample, Haste, Double Strike, boosts from everywhere. Shadow, Flying. Good luck with that is all I really have to say. Definitely, if you guys pick a Sliver deck, whether it be a budget Sliver deck or a really OP expensive Sliver deck, if there's such a thing, I would definitely recommend you get Paradox Engine. It is a must in that kind of a deck. And maybe a few tutors to search it out. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for supporting us. We're less than 25 subs away from 1,000. Don't forget to let me know in the comments down below your questions about EDH Commander Challenge, and I will do my best to answer them in next week's episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're a fan of EDH gameplay and you like whether it be 1v1 or multiplayer and you want to be part of the ever-growing Commander Challenge family, just make sure you smash the subscribe button, the notification bell down below. We do weekly videos. Don't forget as well to like, comment, share our videos, but most importantly, enjoy them. On behalf of all of our members here, I'm your host, BT. Feel free to check out all of the videos in the channel. Join our game. It's now your turn. Cheers!